Alrighty, folks, we got another new album review for you today. And it's not really new. It came out 3 months ago. That is Rezn with their fifth album entitled Burden. Not a whole lot going on here with the packaging. Like I said, this album came out 3 months ago. I did not pick it up. I have a tendency to shy away from bands who name themselves after pot, not from any moral standing, but because they're usually fairly generic, repetitive of each other, even though they spelled resin, R-E-Z-N. So I didn't pick it up. I mean, I've heard of these guys before. This is their fifth album. They came out in 2016. They're considered a psych doom stoner metal band. I have heard of them before. I don't know if it's just been through my YouTube subscriptions or Power Surge. Maybe Pardo reviewed them on his channel. I really couldn't tell you. But Amazon had a Labor Day sale, so I was scrolling through there and I saw a couple CDs, a couple of new releases, so I picked those up just for the hell of it. So like I said, these guys are psych doom stoner metal. In this case, psych means they leave a lot of space in their songs. Doom, there's not much doom to be found here. There's not even much stoner to be found here, besides the name. And there's not that much metal to be found here, honestly. So it opens with a song called Indigo. And it does the spacey lyrics, or spacey singing, the spacey guitar. And when I say spacey, I don't mean that it sounds like it's from outer space. I mean that there's like lots of space in between the notes, lots of space in between the vocals. The singer sings in a real, fairly monotone voice the whole time, with some effects on it, usually layered. I guess he kind of sounds like the singer from Green Lung, but not that dynamic at all. Like I said, he tends to sing in a very monotone, breathy, airy type of singing, and it's layered to try and give it effect. I think the guy can actually sing. A lot of bands use those effects to hide a singer who can't really sing. And then when you see them live, they sound nothing like their album because the guy can't pull it off. And it's got a lot of echoey synthesizer on it. That's a good word too for the vocals, echoey guitar, echoey synthesizer, which is trying to give it that spacey, psychedelic feel. The second song is called Instinct, and there's actually a little guitar in here, and I'm going to reference this many times, is that it's the guitar is very similar to like Sergio Leone guitar from spaghetti westerns. And by that I mean, again, spacey, not a lot of notes. I guess that's what they're trying to achieve with their psychedelic approach. But that approach and doom, which is also what they call themselves, don't really go hand in hand. And in fact, the guitar, if you were to pull it out of the music and just listen to it by itself, you could easily put it into a spaghetti western, which is why I call it the Sergio Leone guitar. It's got more of the local layered vocals on, like I said, but they're a real monotone. You do get some audible bass here, plucking, and then it finally goes into a little riffing towards the end of the song. Minimal riffing, but it's the closest thing that so far that they've come to that sounds doom-like. But there is a good guitar outro. Then you get Descent of the Sinuous Corridors, which is basically 1 minute of ambient synthesizer and guitar. It's I don't even know why it's in there. I guess to give it 7 tracks instead of 6 tracks. Bleak Patterns is your 4th one. It starts off with the same kind of echoey, spacey, monotone vocal delivery. Eventually builds into a pretty good riff, but it doesn't hang around very long. It will repeat it. It will come back later on in the song. There's actually even something that resembles a guitar solo in the middle of the song. The guitar player, nobody really shines here because they all play pretty straightforward. The guitar player does get a few moments here and there, so I do think he can play. I just don't think they give him a lot of material to work with. And it's got kind of a doomy outro on that one. Collapse, again, you got the same echoey vocals, the same Sergio Leone guitar. There is some nice guitar crunch that going into the breaks. But like I said, these crunchy, doomy stoner moments are few and far between. The 6th track's called Soft Prey. Again, it's got the Sergio Leone guitar and the echoey vocals. After the first verse, it kind of goes into this little bit that almost sounds like a middling part that you might find in Dark Side of the Moon. But then, like I said, they never stay in these areas for too long. And this one, it doesn't stay there for very long. And it goes into the verse again. And then after the end of that verse, there comes in some saxophone in the background. It's not really in the background, but it's very muted. And it feels completely out of place. It would have actually worked a little bit better after the first verse when they kind of did that Dark Side of the Moon. Like I said, it was not a Dark Side of the Moon thing. It just kind of sounds like it in spirit. But the saxophone really doesn't work at all. It might have worked better there. But it just sounded like they were just trying to change something up. So they decided, hey, that part almost sounded like Dark Side of the Moon. Let's put some saxophone in over here. The last song is called Chasm, and that's really the only doom song that is on this one, on this album. It's got some heavy riffing. Think Electric Wizard. Maybe not quite that heavy, not quite that fuzzy, but in that vein, mixed with a little Green Lung. But that's really about the only song on here that would approach doom. Like I said, the psychedelic really isn't psychedelic. It's just leaving a lot of space in between notes. And the stoner is really just in the name, although it does have cool artwork. But I really don't think I can give this any higher than 6.5 out of 10. It's not terrible. It's produced well. It sounds good. It's just not anything new. And if you're not going to do anything new, you should at least do it a little bit better. You know, it's all right to be unoriginal, for lack of a better term, but you have to bring something to the table. Otherwise, it just sounds like songs that were left off of the last Green Lung album, which a lot of these guys seem to be going with that vocal style. And if they can't sound like the singer for Green Lung, then they try and mimic it with effects. So like I said, I mean, you may, if you want to give it a try, this, I think, People who like the new pallbearer might like this. I didn't really care for pallbearer, but I know that some people did. So maybe this is more will fit in with that type of style of music if you like to listen to that type of thing. If that's more your speed. So check it out. Rezn, Burden. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. You guys have a good one.